All right. Well, tonight we have a small group compared to last week, but things happen. Obviously, it's also that time of year where there's a lot of stuff going on, and that's totally understandable. But tonight we're just going to talk about. I'm going to review a little bit about kind of Facebook and how obviously that's how we run our business. Most people do, I should say. You can use other social medias as well. I think, Tara, you had asked about, because Janelle referenced an Instagram webinar video that she'd done, and I cannot find hers specifically. I found some other ones that I will share in the group later this week, but I cannot find. I'm going to see if one of the other Diamond coaches has that video, but I've been trying to find it somewhere and I can't find it. So it might be that it's just for her team. And sometimes they don't always open them to everybody because I don't think she's in our downline, upline at all, but I might be wrong. I don't know. Oh, actually, I don't know if she is. But anyhow, and then I'll hear from you guys a little bit as far as maybe some accomplishments that you had this week, and a little bit about what you've gotten from the compound effect so far. And then I'll talk about what we have coming up in the next few weeks in the group. And hopefully we won't take too long tonight. But real quick, just because Kayla does not know me, and Tiffany doesn't either, really. So Tiffany and Kayla, for Tara and Melissa, Tiffany and Kayla are both on Lindsay's team with me. So I'm one of Lindsay's coaches, Kayla and Tiffany, just so you know. And I just became a Diamond coach a couple weeks ago. I joined Lindsay's team almost a little over a year ago now. I had originally joined a challenge group and told her, I don't want Shakeology. I already have TurboFire, so I don't need anything from you. I just want the accountability to stick to clean eating and working out. Well, probably not even 2 weeks into a 30-day group that I was with her, I was like, I want to do this. I want to help everybody in the world and help them feel the way that I do, because I felt so amazing. So fast forward a year, and I feel amazing. I'm in the best shape of my life. For the most part, I've had my ups and downs. I'm going to Costa Rica in 20 days. When am I going? My gosh, less than that. On the 26th, 15 days. So I've been working hard to make sure I have a good bikini body, and and I'm running this new coach group, which has been really great, just to help everybody and share. And really, actually, it's helped me to refocus myself on personal development and just learning and sharing and creating systems for people. And so it's been great. As part of becoming a Diamond, I'm also part of a new Diamond group with one of from Beachbody. I guess he's someone who helps Diamond coaches. So I've been able to attend 2 live calls now with him. So that's been kind of cool to learn some things from him that then I can use with the team too. So you'll be hearing some new things from me probably coming up. If not during this group, because I don't want to overwhelm people, right after we finish this group. So Kayla and Tiffany, also this group, the new coach group, will run through January. Generally, a Coach Basics group is only about 5 weeks, but with the holidays, I extended it to be a full 2 months. So those are just some basics. So last week we focused on getting through that video series. So Kayla, have you gotten through the video series, or have you
the 14
yeah, the 14-day.
Yeah, I watched them all on the YouTube.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I got through them all.
I think, Tara, you've gotten through them all. Melissa, have you gotten through them all?
Yes.
Yes. And Tiffany, have you?
Yep.
Oh, good. Awesome. Now, has anybody watched the Facebook video yet from this week? That's a long one.
Yes.
So.
Yes, I watched it.
Okay.
Which one was that?
Was
It's
that the
all about
webinar?
Facebook. I just posted it on Sunday, and it's what the only webinar for this week. It's like an hour
Yeah.
and 20, so you would know if you watched it.
Yeah, I watched it.
I can't remember. I don't think I did.
All right, I can tag you in that one in case, so that you don't. Sometimes it's hard to find it, find things because they get buried in the group as you'll learn. So that video was pretty eye-opening for me. I rewatched it before I shared it with you guys on Sunday, and just talking about the Facebook affinity, which I had no idea. I mean, I kind of knew that that's how Facebook worked, but I didn't know that if I post something, it doesn't go to all of my friends. And how it's so interesting how she was saying, it might only go to 5 people. And if one of those 5 people like or comment on it, then it will go out to more people. So it's interesting. And as new coaches, I want you to keep that in mind, because when you're posting something, it might take you a little bit longer to get people to see your posts, whereas, and that's why we encourage you to post a couple times a day, 3 times a day, so that people will see something from you more often. And eventually they'll see one of those fitness posts that's about a challenge group or about, results that you've had or somebody else has had. And it will grow over time. Because I'm trying to remember back to one of my first posts and whether or not I had a lot of likes right away or what. I had a lot of Facebook friends then. I just looked today because I was making a list of 100 people. Actually, it's more than that now, but and I had 1,500 friends, and I was like, whoa, I didn't know I had that many friends. That's a lot of people, and I haven't hit probably 20% of that, So, so that was interesting to see today. So I've got a lot of work, a lot of people to form. But in that video, she talked about, oops, I can't minimize. All right. So I have it pulled up here. They talk about preparing your page and removing unwanted posts or pics. That's a good one, especially I'm in education, and so I have always kept my page private until Beachbody, because I didn't want my students to find me. Well, now I'm an administrator, so I don't have as many students that are gonna go try and find me. But Tara, you can relate to this, is that you don't want your students to go find you on Facebook. However, I've gotten to the point where it's all my posts there's nothing bad about what's on my Facebook, like it's all good things. So there's nothing really I need to remove. But if you have, I don't know, anything that's inappropriate or maybe doesn't kind of go with this lifestyle, you might want to delete those pics or delete those posts. Yeah. We talked about sharing content 3 times a day. Remember, only one of those should really be about health and fitness or Beachbody or anything. Really, none of them have to be. I try and do kind of some sort of motivational post. Then I'll do a health and fitness or a Beachbody post, and then something random. So like today, what did I do? This morning, I did something. No, I don't even remember. Let's see if I can see. I know I did an Insanity, because I'm promoting Insanity Max right now. So I had that this morning, or that this afternoon. Oh, this morning I had the elf name. What's your elf name? So that was just something fun to like get people, and it's funny, you'll get a lot of people that respond to your non-fitness and health and fitness posts, and that's okay because they're interacting with you. So next time they do see something, it might be the time for them. It might just not be right now, might not be the right time. So especially with the holidays. And then I did a Insanity, and then I just did a time hop photo of my cousins and my sister and I, so I don't get to see them as often as I would like. So just 3 random posts a day would be awesome if you can start doing that. If 3 is too much because you used to never post on Facebook at all, then maybe start with 1, 1 this week, and then up it to 2 next week, and then up it to 3. I had one of my coaches say, my friends are probably thinking, what the heck are you doing, Megan? Because you're posting on Facebook all the time. But that's okay. I used to feel that way, and then I got to the point of, I don't care what other people think. I'm doing this for me, and I'm going to reach people who want to be reached and who want to be helped. And those that don't. And I really haven't gotten much negative feedback on any posts. I may just get ignored by people, and that's fine. Like I said, it might just not be the right time for them. So you can't take it personally. It's not about you. I think I said this last week. It's not about you. It's about them. So just keep that in mind. Also, another good thing that you can start doing is commenting on other people's posts so that they see your name again if it's somebody that you don't talk to often, and they ask a question or they share something about anything and you can relate to it. Comment on their post, and that might open their mind to, oh, what's Amanda doing? Let's go to her page, and then they might be interested in one of your groups. So that's one thing. And then also interact by tagging back. So if somebody does comment on one of your posts, if you tag them back in a comment, it will then show up on their page. And so you'll see, you'll get that kind of interaction with there. And then you may have like friends of theirs who are like, oh, what's going on there? Who see your posts, who might friend you, reach out to you. You never know. In the webinar also, they have some example posts that will engage conversation. So I suggest doing, making sure that you watch that video because it was actually really, really good. And then the last thing they talk about is adding new people to your network. So every day I've been adding 2 people, at least 2 people to my network. Friends of friends, even if it's not people I really know that much. Like, for example, I was talking to somebody today who actually, she friended me, and she's just a friend of a friend. I don't know her at all, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna form her. If you don't know what form is yet, I think it was in one of the video series. So I've just been chatting with her, and I messaged her first saying, hey, thanks for requesting me as a friend. I see we have one friend in common. I don't know Jennifer that much. I think she's been in one of my challenge groups before. And that's how I left it. Normally I wouldn't open it up talking about challenge groups and Beachbody, but I knew that was probably why she friend requested me in the first place. So so it was okay to open it up that way. And she said, and her only response was, I just want your health advice. I'm just going to follow you for your health advice. So I could have left it at that and just let her follow me on Facebook and see all the motivation that I share. But I started asking her questions to find out she's a widow. Her kids are pretty busy, so she's pretty lonely at home, it sounds like. Takes her dogs for walks, but says she eats healthy and just wants exercise. Well, literally just before I jumped on the call, her last message said, but I really like to do yoga. So what am I going to suggest to her? Probably PiYo, and see where we can go from there. So that's just a way that you can start talking to anybody. It doesn't have to be somebody that you are currently friends with. So that's just a kind of a quick little, oh, and I love this. Learn to be interested rather than interesting. If you can start focusing more on being interested in other people rather than be interesting yourself, you will get more response from people. So focus on them, ask them questions, talk about them, find out what their needs are, what their goals are, and it will work. So, any questions about the whole Facebook thing, posting a few times a day, adding people to your network? Any questions about that?
No.
No? Awesome.
No.
Good. All right. Okay. Everyone's been doing good. This week I asked you to just share in the group what you've been posting each day and kind of a little feedback from the Compound Effect. If you haven't gotten the book yet, I highly suggest getting it. It's really good, and it's not just going to help you in this business, but it's going to help you in your life. I remember when I read it, and now I'm going to go back and reread it with you guys because it's been almost a year now that I read it, I think. I remember using many of the techniques in my full-time job. So full-time, then I was an instructional technology coach, and so my job was to help teachers learn how to integrate technology in their curriculum, and I'd get really frustrated when they wouldn't want to work with me, or our change is really hard for teachers, right, Tara? Change is really hard for everybody, but teachers, no offense, sometimes get stuck in their ways in their classroom, and they don't want to change if it has to do with adding any work to their plate. So sometimes I would get bogged down and upset that people weren't working with me or weren't doing things that I wanted them to do. So I started thinking of them in smaller steps and taking things smaller, and that these little small things that I was doing were going to add up, and they did. And I actually ended up getting probably a lot of this is added up to me getting a new job as an administrator, and now I'm the director of instructional technology. So I get to make all the decisions for the school district, as well as still help the teachers, which is awesome. So, and I think a lot of it had to do with, focusing on myself and focusing on, personal development and all of that it all added up. So, with that, let me hear from you guys. What I want to hear about is any accomplishments this week. It doesn't even have to be Beachbody related. Like I said, this business, I was just listening to a call on the way home today. By the way, lately, I've been really good. And when I'm getting ready in the morning, I'll just search YouTube for there's one coach that I love. His name is Caleb Thomas. It's Caleb Thomas. He's awesome. He has little videos on everything. So I'll go watch it, and he's funny. He's hilarious, actually. I hope you guys go watch him and tell me that you like him too, because I think he's pretty funny. But I go and I'll listen to his videos while I'm getting ready in the morning, or I'll listen to another one. And even on the way to work or on the way home from work, like today, there was I got in the car and there was no music on. So I was like, I'm going to put on a video. So I just found some random video. And none of them you have to watch if you've learned it all, but many of them you just have to listen to. So it's good to just use that little time when you're in the car or getting ready in the morning to listen to those calls. But she was talking about how this business will change your life, not just in the physical aspect of health and fitness, but in the positive and mental state. And I truly believe that has definitely been the case for me. I was searching. I don't know if everybody was in the new coach, the 5-day sneak peek, but my video I felt that I was searching for something for years and years and years. I thought it was the man in my life. And it wasn't. This is the purpose that I was supposed to be doing, and I love it. And I can't believe that this was it. And it's helped me in every other aspect of my life. Like I said, I got a new job that I'd been wanting for over a year since I'd gotten my administrator license. My relationship with my boyfriend is better than ever. My relationship with my family, with my sister, with my mom is better than ever. And I think it's just because I have this positive group of people that I can focus on and help, and as well as positive other coaches on my team that we can lean on each other. And it's just great to have that group of people together. So those are some of my just good thoughts. But let's hear from you a little bit. And any accomplishments this week, like I said, it doesn't have to be Beachbody, but maybe you noticed something new in your life or you've made a simple change in your life this week. Or maybe it is Beachbody related. Maybe you started a challenge group. Maybe you, got new people in it that were interested, that you've been talking to, anything. And then anything you want to share about the compound effect. We're going to talk about the action steps at the end of chapter 1 at the end after this, but that's it. All right, who wants to start? Anybody?
I'll start.
Okay.
Well, I need to get that book.
Okay.
I was gonna just order it off my phone.
Yeah, you can get it on the Kindle app. I have it on my phone. And you can get it, I think it was $9.99 maybe?
Yeah.
Through Amazon, and then you can get the app on your phone.
Yeah, I was definitely gonna get that. But what was the question?
Anything you accomplished this week, anything that you had, after watching the videos, did anything impact your life in a way? Anything change?
I would say this week my accomplishment was actually working out, because the last 6 weeks I've been pretty sick, nauseous wise, because I'm 3 months pregnant. So
oh, you are?
Yeah, so I totally fell off the bandwagon of working out, which was something I did probably 4 times a week.
Okay.
I went to a boxing class normally, and so I totally stopped everything and I started eating crazy stuff because nothing was settling.
Oh.
So I'm back on track though, with everything, cooking and working out. So
good.
I feel so much better, back to normal. So
yeah. Well, that's awesome. Hopefully you're out of that first trimester then.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe feeling a little better.
Yeah, thank God. But
well, that's exciting. When are you due?
The end of June.
Oh, good. So you've got lots of time left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this your first?
It is. It is. Yeah, but working out and meal prepping and stuff is something I always did, so I don't want to change that
right.
at all.
Yeah. So, well, good to hear you're back on track. We'll help you stay motivated with that.
Awesome.
All right. Who else? Who's up?
I'll go.
Okay, Tiffany.
So I'm nursing right now, and I think I just scared him, so if he starts crying, sorry. But so I finally got my girlfriend who's in the military to sign up as a discount coach. I think it was Monday morning, and I've been we've been talking about it forever, but she's one of those where she was just every time I started, I get sidetracked because she's got a newborn too. So they're just everywhere. She's just all over the place. So she finally got signed up. So I was going to turn Emerald tomorrow.
Yay!
And then I found out, there's a backup. Lindsay texted me and was like, hey, so one of your coaches only got to 25 PV, so she needs to buy something else for you to turn Emerald. Otherwise, you'll have to wait till next week if she buys something.
Oh.
So I talked to her, and I haven't even heard back from her because I guess she's traveling for her husband's work.
Oh no.
So, because when she said she was purchasing something last week, I was like, oh, perfect, so it'll be active. I didn't realize that they only got results in recovery with P90X. So it was only 25 PV. So I was like, darn it.
Yeah.
Shoot, I've been like trying to get this.
Mhm.
But I'll absolutely get there next week for sure.
Yeah.
But with the book, I downloaded it on the Kindle app just a little bit ago. Actually, I'm a little behind on that, so I got to catch up.
All right. No problem. Good. Well, that's exciting. And just for everyone else to know, anybody in the military has 0 coach fees. They don't have to pay the $39.95 to sign up. They don't have the $15.95 a month fee. It is completely free for anybody in the military to be a coach. So why wouldn't they sign up to get a discount? So if you know anybody that's in the military, that's a big perk. So that should have been a pretty easy sell, Tiffany.
I know. I kept telling her over and over, I'm like, you don't have to charge, you don't have to pay for anything, like no monthly fees, no nothing. And she bought the 21-day fix a while ago, so she's like in the middle of that. So she's like, well, after this is over, then I'll buy something else. And I was like, no, you should sign up now.
Yeah.
But yeah, she finally did. So hopefully next week we can get my other coach to get up to 50 PV, and then I'll be Emerald finally. So
Good. That's awesome. How exciting.
thank you.
All right. Tara or Melissa, who's next?
All right, I'll go.
All right, Melissa's going.
I'm excited because I'm down 25 pounds. So I would say that's like my big accomplishment for the week. And like through all this coaching and everything, I'm trying to put like my fitness first and my diet and exercise first, just to make sure, that's the whole reason why I'm doing this. And then, also following what you're asking us to do.
Good. And you have older kids, so it's a little bit easier, I assume, to get things done.
It is. They're older, 17, 15, and 13. 2 of them have special needs, though. So,
Oh, yeah.
That kind of makes it a little bit harder sometimes. But for the most part, yeah, like tonight, my daughter worked out with me and things like that. So that was nice.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm also, co-running that clean eating group, the free group with Carly and Erica.
Oh, how's it going?
Good. I added about 10 people to the group, and they seem to, I'm getting some good feedback. Like, some people aren't very active in the group, but then others are. They're saying it's helping. So, we'll see where it goes. And it's really a nice first step for me, like, to see, how to actually run a group, and I'm using the Hootsuite, which is helpful, and, just trying to get the hang of all that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Hootsuite, once I tell my coaches, I tell them all the time, I'm like, do you think I'm really up at 4:30 every morning posting to your group? And they're like, well, I don't know. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not that, like, thoughtful at 4:30 in the morning. If I was up that early, which I'm not. I'm like, I schedule my posts. I use something called Hootsuite. I schedule my posts, And they're like, oh. I'm like, I literally will spend, an hour, 2 hours planning. If it's a 30-day group, I will schedule every post for the 30 days because I have now that I've done many of them, I have a list of posts, which I have in my group, but I'll add to Lindsay's group page too. It's probably like over 100 like example posts that you can use in your challenge groups. I think it's in the file section of the Fit Warriors page, but I can add it in the file section of the Team Believe page too. Because the Fit Warriors is just my downline, but Melissa, Tiffany, and Kayla are in Team Believe, so I can add it there too. But that's super helpful because I just reuse those. I might reword them, etc. But I'm glad that you have a group going and that it seems to be going well. How about I know you've been reading The Compound Effect. Any takeaways from that?
Well, yeah, just, small changes and small different, habits, and not like, I feel like with this, I am jumping into this full force, but there's a lot of things in my life where it's true. You just need to make a small change, even change the way you're thinking, and it will have that compound effect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Super. So true. All right. And Melissa.
My biggest accomplishment this week would be meal planning. I used to just go day to day where I'll sit Sunday and plan for the week.
Oh, what am I going to
Another,
eat today?
yeah, that used to be me. But I don't do that anymore. I just look at my plan and say, this is what we're going to do for today.
Good.
Another accomplishment is I've lost 22 inches all over my body.
Good.
I'm currently setting up a challenge group and currently have like 8 people interested in 2 days.
That's awesome. Is this, are you doing a free group? Is it a clean eating group?
I'm just doing a free group. It's going to be a 30-day challenge.
Oh, good. That's awesome. And I always tell people don't make them too big, because people will get lost in the posts. So 8 people is definitely a good start. I wouldn't go any bigger than like 15, just because people get lost, and especially if they're not used to like posting on Facebook a lot, sometimes it can be pretty overwhelming if they keep getting all these dings on Facebook with all these comments and posts. So that's my personal preference. Not all coaches do it that way. Some just let the group get really large, but I like to try and I've learned over time that I like to try and keep them a little bit smaller in size. Are you going to run that yourself, or is Jessica going to help you run that? Is it your first group?
Jessica says she's just going to sit back and let me run it and give me advice and opinions on how I can run it more.
Oh, good. And have you've been in a group with Jessica, or you're in the 21-day group right now? So that's a good, right?
Yeah.
The Countdown to Christmas group?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a good Claire. It's a good way to kind of shadow how somebody is running a group, because it's Lindsay, and then Vanessa is one of my new coaches, so she's running that with Lindsay. So they've got it down pat, having the 2 of them, and they're switching off weeks, I think. So that's a good way to do a group. Have you read The Compound Effect yet?
I'm actually halfway through mine.
Are you? You can't put it down? Any big takeaways?
My biggest takeaway is the slow and easy. I'm used to fast pace, so I'm trying to learn to slow my paces.
Mm-hmm. And that not everything's going to happen overnight. Like I always say, with weight loss, you didn't put it on overnight, you're not going to lose it overnight, So it's going to take time. And I used to always want that quick fix. I wanted to lose, 10 pounds as fast as I can, but then I never kept it off. And I've learned now that if I'm consistent every week, that I may be up a pound and then I'm down a pound. And then I'm trying to not even look at the scale at all, to be honest. But sometimes that's hard because the scale really messes with your mind. But anyhow, talking about challenge groups, that will lead me into kind of our last thing tonight, which is talking about the weeks ahead. So I'm going to shrink up here really quick and pull up a document if I can find it. So the next 3 weeks, after this week, we will have a call next Wednesday at 8 o'clock, but then we won't have one over the following 2 weeks because of the holidays. But I've designed the next 3 weeks to be all about challenge groups, inviting to challenge groups, learning about challenge groups, all of that. So that's what you'll be learning about, and you can space it out as much as you want over the 3 weeks. Some people go out of town, like I'm going out of town to Costa Rica, so I won't be involved much in the group during that week. That is the week after Christmas. So I didn't want to completely overwhelm people. But there will be one, like there's gonna be one big webinar like the Facebook one that's a little bit longer. That one's called Running All-Star Challenge Groups. So you'll be watching that at some point. And then I have one about the 5-step invitation process and how you can use that process to invite people to challenge groups as well. And we're just going to focus on challenge groups, but there is also a 5-step invitation process for inviting coaches to your team. But we will just be focusing on challenge groups next week, or the next few weeks, I should say. There's also a document that you can follow as well as to go along with the video. There's additional challenge group videos. All of these are actually in the back office, but I'll be posting them to the group for you just so you can watch them at your own time. Don't get overwhelmed. You know, I'm sharing a lot of information, and I've had one-on-one calls with all of my personally sponsored coaches to kind of tell them, this is your business. I'm sharing a lot of information. Take it at your pace. You all have busy lives. Many of them are young moms, have young children at home, and are working. So I said, set out a plan. So one of my coaches, I said, okay, here's what you need to do. Watch the video series and start posting to Facebook. That's all I want you to focus on until I talk to you again next week. You know, I don't even want her to watch the Facebook video yet until she feels, you know, like she has time for that. So, you know, you may just need to take it at your own pace if you have a lot going on. But I'll also be posting a bunch of other things in the group, like a memory jogger, which will help you. If you haven't built a list of 100 contacts, I suggest doing that and starting that. But the memory jogger will help you to think of people in your life that maybe you can add to that list. We talked today a little bit about overcoming objections, was a little bit about in the group today. So that was, we'll talk a little bit more about that as well in the group, how to build relationships. So that's kind of the plan over the next few weeks, just so you know what's coming up. If you can get comfortable this week with posting on Facebook, then next week you might be ready to invite somebody to a challenge group or start to promote a challenge group if you haven't done that already, so that people can, you know, get things ordered and have them ready for January to start their year off right. So I started promoting this week, but really to get something here with the holiday, you probably need people to start to have their orders in by, I'm going to guess, like the 22nd. I don't know how the holidays are going to be. And I'll keep my eye in the back office to see if they say anything about how long they think things will take with the holiday. I don't know if they're open on Christmas Eve or if they'll be shipping or what. So usually I always give people they have to get their order in about a week before the start of the challenge group, at least a week, maybe 10 days to be safe. But what I think I'm doing with my January groups is going to do January 5th that week as a preseason. So technically I could still get orders right after the new year when people are ready to make those New Year's resolutions. So those few days, you know, the 1st through the 5th, they could probably still place an order to have their full program in their hands then by, say, the 12th, which would be the following Monday when the actual challenge would start. I always like to do a preseason. I never did that until recently. And I think it's really helped to get people comfortable in the group, understand the expectations, and then, you know, be ready to actually get down and get started on that following Monday. So hopefully this was helpful tonight. I know it's always nice to just see each other's faces and talk and hear each other's voice. A goal of mine this year is to get on the phone more with people because I'm not a phone talker at all whatsoever. I hate it. My boyfriend and I didn't talk on the phone for like 6 months. We would only text each other. And we lived together. We moved in together after 4 months. We hadn't even talked on the phone. People laugh at us. But neither one of us are big phone talkers. But I have been talking on the phone more with like my new coaches and people that have been interested in coaching, and it really does help. So that is one of my goals. So these calls are getting me more comfortable with that as well. Just talking with people, which I don't mind talking to people, so I don't know why I don't like the phone, but who knows. So any questions before we leave for the evening?
I don't think so.
Anything you?
I do.
Yeah.
So I'm doing you're all right. I think I'm scared. I'm doing an accountability group for a 3-day refresh. I've been promoting it for like 2 weeks now. This is going on my second week.
Okay.
I didn't specifically talk to Lindsay about how many people. She said take 5 with me. But
Yeah.
I've had like probably like 15 people ask me about it. I only have like 3 for sure right now.
Okay.
But I've had like a lot of people come to me with questions and like maybe like thinking about it, considering I'm supposed to touch base with them again the next day or 2. But like how many, should I stop at 5? Or if I have more people that want to do it for sure, like how many would you suggest?
I think you could probably go more than 5, especially with a 3-day refresh. It's only a 3-day group essentially.
Right.
You'll probably have a little bit of a couple day preseason is what we've done. I know that I haven't ran a 3-day refresh myself, but Erica and Carly, Erica's one of my coaches and Carly is her coach. They've actually run a couple of them, and I know I get their script for you.
Yes, please. That'd be amazing.
So I will ask them for that and let you know. But I know that they do a couple day, I think maybe a 3-day preseason, just to get people prepared and ready so that those 3 days, and then you're done. So I think you can have more than 5 definitely, because it is only 3 days.
Okay.
So if you have,
Perfect.
if you have more people that are interested, go for it.
Awesome. Thanks.
And I will get you those. I will ask them. I might have them. They actually might be in the Dream Extreme, or not the Dream Extreme, the Team Believe group, but I will look. If not, I will either I'll probably add them to the Dream Extreme group or ask Erica to.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? Well, I will leave you with this, that you guys can do this. I've been trying to do these little car casts in the morning. I hope you guys enjoy them. My mom, because I did one for one of my other groups, my mom was like, I don't want you doing that while you're driving. I'm like, Mom, I've got this little in my car. My phone just sits in it, and I just hit record. It's okay. I can talk while I drive. That's not illegal to talk while you're driving. You just can't hold your So, but I like doing those because, again, I'm using all my time as much as I can because I don't have a lot of time working full time. But, you guys can do this. Be patient. It's the little things. They will add up, as I said this morning in my little car cast. Do little things to change yourself, change your thinking. In the compound effect, at the end of chapter 1, he gives you some things to do, such as write out a few excuses that you might be clinging to. Decide to make up in hard work and personal development to overcome those excuses. Write out a half a dozen small steps that you can take every day in your life to completely change it into a new and positive direction. Write down the actions that you can stop doing that might be compounding your results. He talks about that in chapter 1. So the little things that you're doing that you could stop doing. And then list a few areas where you have been most successful in the past. Consider whether or not Are you still doing those? Can you improve them? Are they in jeopardy of leading you to something bad? Maybe they're not so successful anymore. So just a few things to get you thinking, and that I pretty much read those from the end of chapter 1. And they have those action steps at the end of each chapter. So it's nice to just sit down and kind of reflect a little bit on how the book is affecting your life. So that is all for tonight, and I will talk to you guys in the group, and we'll talk next week, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. Yeah.
Bye.